It's Mama Donna Maltz here with another episode of A Dose of Positivity. And I am so excited to share with you our guest today. Permelia, I am just going to not say your last name right now because I always get it wrong. Can you say your full name for me right now?
Permelia Parham.
There it is, Permelia Parham. And she is here live with us today from beautiful Vancouver Island, Canada. And we're so grateful to have you here, honey. Thank you so much for joining us.
I'm so excited to be here today.
Cool. And I also want to welcome everybody who is on the live show and everybody who's streaming in today. We are so grateful to see you here. And for everybody listening to the replay, thank you so much. And if you have questions or comments or you want to get a hold of Permelia, all that information is down below, either in our YouTube channel or Anchor or Spotify. You have 3 different ways to listen. So, and we'll have all those links in all of our channels for you to access us. And for all of those new people who are on today, there's so many great replays. Here we are, a group of people where I have the greatest honor and privilege to interview change makers, thought leaders, and social and environmental entrepreneurs who are changing the world for the better. And today our special guest, Permelia, is no exception. And I'm reminding you all as I always do, this is a live chat, a live conversation. So if you have a question for either myself or Permelia, please raise your hand. If you're not shy, come off mute, come off video, and you will be joining us in the conversation. And I picked a very special thing, a very short paragraph to read in one of my books, Living Like the Future Matters, The Evolution of a Soul to Soul, to lead into our conversation. We're going to be talking about the body code, and we're going to be talking about interconnecting how we can be well and stay well with this beautiful woman who's my guest, who you can all see on the screen. She is 74 years old and she is rocking it. Why? Retire when we can inspire. So here we go. This is from cycle 13 from Living Like the Future Matters. And I start with one of my quotes. Being part of the solution, we ward off earthly and personal pollution. In most circumstances, it's possible to change our brain and our lives. We can overcome adversity. I recognize that we must each find our way through difficult times. No matter how low you may feel, you are never alone. If there is no other solace to count on, all things can and will change. Whichever you're going through tough times, remember that the sun will always rise, and darkness is a natural part of life. We must go through dark times to find the light. Love and compassion are the greatest medicine, along with surrounding ourselves with the right conditions and people. An excellent exercise to ask yourself, what can I add into my life to live, eat, and work like the future matters? As you prune unhealthy habits, you can regenerate your commitment to your purposeful passion. What you choose to focus on the good, it grows, and your life blossoms. And Permelia is a perfect example of that. She has an incredible career, and Tel will put the link to the body code in our chat. Thank you so much. Tel is my assistant who is helping with everything, and will answer. Let us know if you have any questions in the chat. And I read that because of the love and the compassion that this woman has not only put into her career as creating this body code, which she's going to be sharing with us today, and how to get and stay well. But she is a wise woman and sees the power of interconnecting everything from the soil to the soul. And she has created an incredible networking system that she's going to be sharing with you in just a minute when I introduce you to her. Pamela has been divinely guided to create the Healing Institute, which is the name of her new company. And I keep telling her, I want to aspire to be just like you, Permelia, because I'm only 65. So, and she's starting a new company at 64. This is a virtual global platform connecting clients to holistic practitioners. So we don't have to be alone, just like I was writing about, reading in that story. There's people out there who can help us get through no matter how hard the time is. So she connects these professional holistic practitioners to create a proactive wellness community supporting their clients and each other. The Healing Institute motto is serving with love. And to know more about her, you can go to both of her websites, which we just put into the chat. So don't be shy. You can be Googling it and looking at all of this while we're having our discussion here, and it'll stir up more conversations for you guys. So Permelia, I just want to welcome you to A Dose of Positivity. And before we get into the questions, I would like to ask you to personally give us your life experience in like a couple of minutes. Like what brought you to the body code, and then what brought you to starting a new company at 74 years old?
Well, thank you so much, Donna. It's delightful to be here. And thank you for the reading that you did out of your book, because it fits, I believe it fits perfectly. Well, I've always been curious. People say, well, how did you get to where you are at age 74? And I said, well, I like to say now that what you got in trouble for when you were a child, it can be your gift. So I was always curious. I was always asking questions. I was always told I asked way too many questions. I think just because my parents couldn't answer them all. And I was also told I was too sensitive. Well, I'm a practitioner of the body code and the emotion code, as well as a couple of other things I do. And you have to be sensitive. That's part of now my gift, is being sensitive to people's emotions and what's going on with them. So about 20 years ago, I started to just not feel that I was 100% in joy. And I always, as I said, was always curious. I started asking questions. I started meeting people. I was introduced to a wonderful woman who taught me about vibration and taught me about energy. And I ended up studying under her for 8 years. And it was just the most remarkable experience, because I really found myself. Or, one of the things I believe in is past lifetimes. It's not something you have a conversation with your family at the dinner table, I found out. But when I met her and I was at the very first workshop, the whole room was full of people that believed in past lifetimes. So I was like, I've met my tribe. I've met my people. It really helped reinforce that how I had been and how I was thinking was who I truly was. And so that inspiration, meeting other people, reading the books I've been reading, you can see on my bookshelf, I read a lot, that I was always looking for answers. And when I was finding out more about the law of attraction, that vibration you give out is the vibration you get back. And I delved into that for a little while. And then I was introduced to the emotion code, which is like the first level. Dr. Bradley Nelson created the protocol. And then the body code uses the emotion code, which are these trapped emotions. He calls them trapped emotions. They're like balls of negative energy that could be stuck in your subconscious, but they could also be stuck in your body doing all sorts of havoc. So when I started studying that just made perfect sense to me, based on all of the other practices that I had learned from my teacher about vibration, about we are vibration. There's vibration in the world. We're not just this physical body. And I found that I had a gift and I had a talent to be more intuitive. and to find out exactly what was going on with my clients from emotional, physical, mental, or spiritual issues that they might have. So when I was studying that and became a certified body code practitioner, which was the end of 2019. Well, we know what happened in 2020, right? So I had been looking and wanted to create maybe a building here where I live on Vancouver Island on the west coast of Canada. I was thinking maybe I would create a building for practitioners. But then when we were all sent home and shut down, I started finding these networking platforms where I was meeting holistic practitioners all over the world. And so I was like, oh, we could have something virtual. We could do something that really would have an expansion to the rest of the world. And so we presently, with the Healing Institute, have 30 practitioners, and we represent 8 countries. So we're really in the process of moving out into the world to heal the world. That's why, you know, our motto is service with love. We want to be available for people who are searching, people that have, we want to give people hope that they can be well and they can stay well on their healing journey, whatever that might be.
Oh, this is so rich. This is so great. And I know some of our regular people on this call are really at a place maybe where you were 8 years ago, and they are probably about your age when they were 8 years ago. And I just want to remind everybody who's listening to this, it's never too late to listen to your intuitive self. And COVID is not an excuse for finding your truth. We are running out of time, running out of excuses to do types of work like Permelia's doing, that's interconnecting the human spirit to wholeness again. And that is what I love about your work. And just like what you did is kind of, I just want to talk about me for a minute. Just for, like, I did the same thing at COVID. You know, I thought I got to start this whole online business and this membership and connect everybody. And now that business is just sitting on a shelf waiting for the next COVID or the next whatever that's going to shut us down. Because if we don't start taking care of our immune systems, we're all going to be back in the same situation in the near future, as far as I can see, unless we make some big changes. So having a backup plan, right? So, and now you once this gets going, you might have that building, right? You might have that because you have so much life in you, because you took the time for you. You took the time when you were kind of feeling lost, you were kind of feeling a little low, you searched and you found something that really resonated with you. I love seeing you in this room with your tribe, and at a dose of positivity and soul to soul in our Facebook group. It's a tribe, right?
Mm-hmm.
And now these tribes are starting to connect with each other.
Yes.
And it's a vibrational healing that we're creating here.
And that's what's so exciting about it, Donna, is, you know, I wouldn't have met you.
Right.
We met on a networking platform that's out of Australia.
Right. That's right.
So I would not have met you if it hadn't been for now the type of interaction that we're doing globally. And
Right.
I truly believe that this is the way we need to move forward as a civilization. You know, for too long, we were taught that it was the survival of the fittest. Well, that is not true at all. Actually, we need to collaborate. And so we really need to interact and collaborate and get to know each other on a very human, spiritual, personal level, because really that is the way that we're going to go forward and make this world a better place. And I just love what you're doing. I'm looking forward to the day I can come to your retreat center with my practitioners and bring them. And you know, we're reaching out into the world with our wellness, with whatever our gifts are, because it's a bigger thing. You know, the Healing Institute isn't all about Permelia Parham. The Healing Institute is really reaching out into the world so that we have a hub of holistic practitioners that can be there for people who are searching. And that's what I created it for.
I just love that. And you know what? I just got reminded by myself. I'm looking and I wore this bright yellow dress, and we got the sun behind us, and we are just turned into the spring equinox, which is a time of rebirth, a time of connection. It's a time energetically to come out of ourselves and grow into the spring, right? To spring out. And that is that whole tie-in, connecting to nature, as one of those healers, or those great, add 31 to your list, right? Just
yes.
Nature has a voice of her own, right? To as a healing modality. But I do want to wish everybody a happy spring equinox. And sometimes it takes just putting on your brightest clothes you got and coming out with your.
I didn't wear yellow, but I wore this really lovely turquoise today.
Love it.
So, and I love spring. You know, I live near the beach. So I'm able to now go for what I call my sunshine beach walks, which it makes me very joyful to be able to do that.
So cool. Well, you know, what I would love to do is go back, because I had the opportunity, or you guys who are listening, Permelia offers to give everybody a taste of her body code healing. And she did a body code healing with me last week, and it was quite remarkable. I would love for you to share a little bit more specifics about the body code, how it works, and how you figured out how to do it like you did with me. I mean, you were pulling things out of my crown chakra that were spot on. And the other thing, because I'm real bold, like, you know, we don't hold anything back on this show. You spoke a little bit about your childhood, your questions, and all of this stuff about how nobody kind of didn't click, didn't understand, right? Mm-hmm. And I know for me, I'm an empath, intuitive, sensitive person, and I think we all have that ability. But you have a gift, and like as everybody else has a gift. So don't be shy on sharing any like spiritual awakening, or what happens to you when you go into this subconscious, when you're doing these code healings. What goes on in your being?
Well, let me just explain a little bit about the process. And I didn't create the process. Dr. Bradley Nelson, who created the protocol, he created the process. But the reason that I believe it works so well, and this is based on me studying, for me, vibration and energy and emotions, is because there's 3 components to it. So I connect with my client's subconscious with their permission. And our subconscious is true to who we are. It is completely, it holds all of our emotions, all of our memories. We don't think about the subconscious that much because we're not taught how to think about the subconscious. But scientifically, our conscious brain is really maybe 5 to 10% of what's going on with us. The rest, 90 to 95%, is what's in the subconscious. And again, the subconscious is very true to who we are as people. So connecting to the subconscious, so it's work that we do together, Donna. So you and I were working together. I was working with your subconscious. You gave me permission to connect in with your subconscious, and then to find out what the issue was, where we needed to go in the Body Code app. It's an app I have on my tablet, and which trapped emotions needed to be released I muscle test. Now, for years, I used a pendulum. I'm sure people can recognize that. They've used a pendulum in the past. Now I just muscle test. So when my fingers stick together, that's my yes. And when they come apart easily, that's my no. I had to practice that. It's not something that comes to you really easily often. But I did also take an intuitive intelligence course from another woman that I met because I really wanted to. Not that I knew that I was intuitive, but I didn't want to be second guessing myself. So that was a 9-week course that I took just to make sure that my intuition was connected. I was connected with it. And so our muscles are true to who we are. I'm sure you've seen the sway test or you've seen the strong arm test. You say your name and your arm stays strong, or you sway forward. If you say a name that's not yours, your arm goes weak. I've actually talked to people who are in the grocery store using the sway test to decide what they're going to buy on the shelf. And I'll go, no, you don't want that. Your body's saying, no, you shouldn't be buying that to eat that. So again, our muscles are true to who we are. So that's the second piece. And then the third piece is to release the trapped emotion. I'm doing it on behalf of my client. So I'm their proxy, and I run a magnet over my governing meridian. Now, our governing meridian connects to the electromagnetic field, and the magnetic quality of the magnet connecting to the electromagnetic field, or aura, which again is true to who we are, is stronger than the trapped emotion. So that's what releases the trapped emotion. So that's why I really connected with this modality, because I really believe in all the pieces that make up the modality and how we can help our clients. And I've helped my clients with all issues: physical, mental, spiritual, emotional. I even work with animals. So, and a lot of our animals are rescue and they have trauma. So I've been able to work with dogs and cats and children. I also work with children. All I need is permission from the parent, or if you have animals, I just need your permission. I can do it remotely and distance wise.
Very powerful. And you know, I've said it before, I'm woo. I may not be woo woo, but I am definitely woo. And when I first heard Permelia, you know, and saying all the stuff, and then she offered to do a channeling kind of, I almost look at it as like a channeling for me. And I could say, well, if I was in the office with you and maybe you could feel my energy, or what, you know, you go to the doctor and they can look at your tongue and feel your pulse, and, you know, put the stethoscope by your heart and check your ears. And I thought, you know, how this is a little woo woo. But this woman looking at, and I don't want to go back to your age or rub it in or anything, but to me, it's a real attribute. I thought, you know, I'm going to try this. I want to see, before I have her on my show, I really want to understand what the truth, or is this to woo 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 to talk to you guys about this today. And it isn't. It's totally woo, totally real. You are really skilled at what you do. There's no judgment. It's just like boom, boom, and all of a sudden, some of the things she say, that's just like it hits a core, and you go, wow. It's kind of like getting a tarot reading or an astrological reading. But different enough that it's sort of like, I just recently had a tarot astrology reading online with another practitioner who's going to be coming on in July, and it blew my mind. And she went into like a trance state, almost like you did, right? A sense like you're really tuning into each other. And like you said earlier, if it wasn't the pandemic, we wouldn't have been having this, or the internet, we wouldn't be having this. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying this is a substitute for real people hugging and, you know, and feeling that vibration in front of you. But people who don't have access, or who are feeling very, like, it's not like there's a practitioner like yourself in every town.
And you know, I think we have to learn, and this is one of the reasons why I called the Healing Institute an institute, because I'm really passionate about educating people. I'm passionate about educating the public and educating people about how how our bodies are amazing. Our bodies are very, very amazing. They can heal themselves. We're not taught that in mainstream society. We're not taught that we're made up of vibration. We're taught that this is it. This is the physical body. This is what you work with. But if you do some research and if you do some exploration around vibration and healing and energy, then yes, you'll find the books. You'll find, I can tell you how many are on my bookcase. You'll find those pieces that will reinforce probably what you already believe, but you just need to be, again, curious about what that is. And so when you find that information, you go, wow, I follow people like Bruce Lipton, Dr. Joe Dispenza, and Greg Braden. I love to listen to them talk on YouTube videos. And those are all part of the education that I want people to know. I want people to know we can heal ourselves. I want people to know about the societies that Greg Braden has gone to live with, where people live very healthy into their hundreds. Yeah. So we don't just have this kind of very narrow paradigm thinking about. And when I did the session with you, Donna, we were doing it together. So we were, yes, I was tapping into your subconscious, but energy can be anywhere. And that's what the point I wanted to make is we can do energy over Zoom. We can do energy over the phone. We can do energy just by distance. I've done that in the past where people just they didn't have time to pop onto a Zoom call or come to see me in my office. They just needed some work done and gave me permission to do it. So yeah, it's pretty amazing when we have this capability of, and again, I'm going back to this interconnectedness that we can have in the world. I mean, you're in Hawaii. I'm on the west coast of Vancouver Island. Who knows where everybody else is? Tells in the Philippines, these are the kinds of tangible things I believe we need to recognize how we can bring our world and the people closer together.
Yeah, I love this conversation so much. And going back to what you were talking about as the afterlife, like I'm constantly channeling in people who are no longer physically here. And, nobody, I don't know what everybody knows. It's so comforting to know that I can do that. And I don't know if I'm writing a new book called Death, What Is It Good For? Tell you that channeling piece that you're talking about, and it so much of it has to do with the belief in knowing the truth that there is this vibrational energy, like the old saying, you throw a pebble in a still pond and it reverberates out, right? It's all energy. Absolutely. Just like even sometimes I go on a Zoom call with a mastermind group of people, and somebody's just super scratchy, and they're not even it's just that
you're not in the same room with you.
Yeah, they're not in the same room with me, but you feel it, right? It's
absolutely.
They've got an agenda. They had a bad day, or they're jealous or competing with or they're just not worthy, or you can feel that but then I always say to them, Donna, that's a judgment. You shouldn't be thinking that. Maybe that's just, maybe that's your insecurities. And you can go on and on about your own energy, right? But and then sometimes you walk, like Hollywood, you walk into the room and either they're so vain, Carly Simon, they're either so vain or that they think the song's about them. But also sometimes we walk into a room and it's love at first sight. I mean, we're this is that subconscious I think you're referring to. And I think what's happening right now in our societies is we're not encouraged. We're not given that emotional intelligence that we were born with, that the universe, the God, the creator, whatever you want to call it, has given us. And
I agree. Yeah, I agree with you. We need to tap into it. We need to teach people how we can tap into it, because we all have it. We are, as you said, we're born with it. So it didn't go away. It's just that we're not taught how to tap into it. And I also wanted to mention, there are different types of trapped emotions. So you can inherit them. You could inherit them from your father's side of the family or your mother's side of the family. Could go back very many generations, these trapped emotions. There's one called prenatal. Something was going on with your mother when she was pregnant with you. You got the trapped emotion. I ever think that's fair. But anyway, that's what happens. There's trapped emotions you can absorb from people, just being around them. So it's always, I think it's always a really good way of trying to stay as healthy as you possibly can, whether it's, physically, obviously we know how to do that. Eat the right food, eat the food Donna makes. But, being healthy from a mental and emotional point of view, we also need to realize that there are things that can be done for us, like the body code and the emotion code, that help us, that will help release those balls of negative energy, get rid of them. So most of my clients will say that they feel lighter, they sometimes feel tingly, and some of them have, don't feel anything right then, but might feel something a couple of hours later or the next day. Everybody's different. There's no right and there's no wrong. But it's just important to understand that those balls of negative energy, if they're stuck in your subconscious and they're stuck in your trapped, as Dr. Brad calls them, trapped in your subconscious and also wreaking havoc in your body, that's what causes dis-ease. So we need to release them and get rid of them.
Absolutely. It's so funny while you were saying that, this mosquito, we've had an outbreak of mosquitoes, and this mosquito was coming.
Was that what that was? I was wondering.
Yeah. And I'm sitting here going, God, I got to let people know that I didn't, just fart or something, but there's a mosquito and I'm batting it, and I'm just, it's just that law of attraction, the mosquito always learning from whatever. But when we're breathing heavy, or when we can attract mosquitoes, or when there's, we attract like that law of attraction, like you're saying. And it's not like, I was saying, can mosquito come here? But that mosquito was talking to me while you were saying that. I was just thinking about, now, why would this mosquito come? It's not here now. So what, maybe energetically I was, if you want to believe what you want to believe, but I felt like that mosquito was just making me very more present. And I didn't want to kill it. I just wanted it to go away. And it's kind of like the emotions or a person who's really bothering you energetically, like that mosquito. There's ways, there's those tools, like you were saying, to learn how to deal with that energy, how to invite that mosquito to go away. It hasn't come back. I think it got the message.
And you can do the same with people, Donna.
No, that's what I was getting at.
Yeah, you can put your your balancing. I do a balance every morning, a yoga meditation balance, grounding to start my day, because I need to be grounded if I'm not emotionally, but energetically getting involved with clients, obviously. So, it's very important for us to put that on and make sure that I say I don't have negative people coming around me anymore. I think they see my cloak of invisibility, or whatever you want to call it. They might get close and go, no, I don't want to come around her. But when I was still working on my vibration and my energy field and getting it as, it's a work in progress always, but I would either say something more positive to somebody. If they were saying something negative to me, I would just then turn it around. And, after a while, if people really want to be negative, they're going to go find the people that they can be negative with. They're not going to find the people. They're not going to stay around the people that are more positive. So
yeah, I'm definitely finding, as my career and everything is blossoming and changing, you know, in these golden years, that I continue to attract amazing people like yourself. And,
Yeah,
the network is just growing and growing. And everybody who's listening to this has the ability to subconsciously bring that forward. And sometimes it needs a little help. Sometimes it means like going back to school or finding gurus or people like Permelia has done, which brings me to wanting to ask you to please share more about this network, this beautiful collaboration that you're put together with the Institute, the Healing Institute. Was that an intuitive thing? I know you kind of saw a need, a niche, or a void, but did something say, here I am, I'm like, 70 whatever years old, and I'm going to be the one who take this on? I mean, like, where did that come from? Something strong within you, right?
Yeah, I think it started back in 2018. There was a science and spirituality conference here on Vancouver Island. And so the people that I mentioned earlier, people like Greg Braden, Joe Dispenza, Bruce Lipton, Lynn McTaggart, Lee Carroll, they came here for a week-long conference. And it was we have a larger city at the south end of the island. It's Victoria, which is the capital of British Columbia. But they didn't have it there where they have a much larger conference center. They had it in a smaller city called Nanaimo. And those of us that, they had the invitation out, a good, 10 months, maybe 8 to 10 months before the conference was going to happen. And so we were like, why did they pick Nanaimo? Like, they could have picked Victoria. They could pick Vancouver, which is a very large center, has a huge conference center. We just kind of wondered, like, why did that happen? Well, the organizers told us because where we live on the center part of Vancouver Island is a very energetic, beautiful energetic vortex. And they actually, now those of us who live here, we know it's a beautiful place, but for it to be internationally known for its energetic vortex, that was like, oh, wow. Okay. And they chose it for that. Just specifically, it took them 4 years to plan the event because, those people I mentioned, they all were out traveling, doing their own thing. And so to get them all together in one spot. So that got me thinking. I'd also been in a number of wellness fairs and metaphysical fairs. I always had a booth or a table. And so I thought, wow, maybe we could do something here like on a regular basis. And that was where I got the idea about the building. So, that's where I was at looking around. I live in a smaller city than Nanaimo. I was looking around at spaces and buildings and talking to practitioners that I was meeting at these fairs and wellness expos and saying, if you had a space that you would like to do your yoga retreat, or you would like to do your workshops, or you'd even like to just to see your clients, not necessarily in your home, but in a nice space that you could welcome your clients. Would that be something that you would be interested in? And everybody said, oh yeah, that sounds like a great idea. So that's when I was thinking about the building, and that was kind of in the fall of 2019. So it just was a gem that just started to percolate with me. Another woman that I met that I recently just had a Zoom call with, I wanted to let her know she lives in Australia, and we had met somehow and had a Zoom call. And she had asked me a question. She said, well, how many clients can you see in a day? And I'm like, well, probably quite a few. So she gave me the idea as well. It was just a nugget of an idea that I needed to scale out, like not just think of me doing my work, but in some other instance, think of scaling it out. So that gave me, again, that this happened all around about the same time. Another friend of mine, we were going to a networking dinner meeting, and she was talking about her 10-year plan. And I was like, oh my goodness, I don't even have a 2-year plan or a 5-year plan. maybe I should think about a 10-year plan, or, like a plan of some kind, not just me in my little silo doing my body code, emotion code work. So again, all of those things together, I think they were germs. They were seeds. Let's call them seeds. They just got planted, and then I was full on certified as a body code practitioner in December of 2019. My family, children and partners, we all came to Hawaii. We didn't come to Big Island. We went to Kauai and had a lovely week for Christmas that year. And when I got back, I was just starting to put things into place when we were all locked down. So then all of a sudden I'm seeing my clients over Zoom or over the phone. So it was a progression to get me to that point. But once I started networking on these networking platforms, and I'm on like 5 different networking platforms right now. So a couple out of the US, one out of Ireland, one out of South Africa, a couple out of Canada. But again, they're with people all over the world because we can do that now. So worked with a beautiful woman who is my business coach, and she's a visionary, and she just helped me take my vision to that next level.
So great. That's a good message for everybody out there, just seeing the sequential steps to take a seed and now to have a forest. Mm-hmm. And you have 30 practitioners, and I'm assuming through these networking groups is how you're maybe finding these practitioners.
Exactly.
Or did they find you? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly. I joined the networking group in Ireland. I joined specifically because I wanted to find practitioners in Ireland and the UK. I joined the one in South Africa. I chose my countries. I chose which countries I wanted to be in. And then I started networking. And so, when you're on these networking platforms, they usually have a format where you meet everybody. There's usually a presenter, and then you have breakout rooms. And so I would just get on LinkedIn, check to see the people that I really wanted to connect with, make sure I did discovery calls. I've been literally on Zoom doing what we call a discovery call, getting to meet people like you and I did from for 2 years. So that's how I've met them. I've vetted every single person who is a practitioner on the hub. I've vetted everyone. There's not only having a discovery call with them or telling them about, my vision. Everybody needs to be heart-centered, which they all are. They really need to care about the client. And we all want to be coming from the same place. And so I have like an 8-page fillable form they have to fill out. It's an onboarding questionnaire. So that gives me an idea about who the practitioner is, how they do their work, what kind of marketing they do, because that's part of my promise for them to be a member of the Healing Institute, is that I'm doing the marketing for them to bring them clients.
Oh, I'm going to have to fill out that 8-page form.
Okay.
Sounds really great. Yeah, bring people here to the Culinary Healing Arts Nature Therapy Farmstead Retreat on the Big Island of Hawaii and get some life.
Sounds amazing. Just sounds amazing.
Yeah, no, it is. And, it is so interesting. All this whole law of attraction, everything that you're saying is like, and I know some people listening to this, you're thinking, I don't want to be on Zoom and doing these networking and do this to build a business. But you know what? The networking I have found is the best way. Social media is dying as far as I'm concerned. It might seem like it's so alive because there's a lot of fluff, but that's not the place where you're going to build your business. It may feel good when you get so many likes, and you might want to, go under your covers because nobody liked it either. And that just really wreaks havoc on that little subconscious thing that's going on there. And so we have to, it's very important to really look at what it means to be social these days, and connecting with a tribe like you have of 30 people, or for me, connecting with all these amazing speakers I've been able to have on my show. And then they're naturally helping me bring clients here
Absolutely.
to my retreat. And if they haven't come yet, they're gonna come. And these are the people that I choosing to have in my life anyway. And I get to know them better and serve them and take care of them when they come here. And that's like for anybody, no matter what age you are, figure out what your superpower is and keep going, right? Like Permelia, I loved you sharing the journey, that seed. Like you were influenced by a core group of people who you aspired to continue that work.
And you know,
so
each individual person by themselves, I didn't really think about it until I got to the point where, you know, people like you were asking me questions. How did you get here? And I'm like, oh, well, it was this person said this, and then this happened, and then this happened. And so it was a combination of all of those little gems or seeds that germinated into the Healing Institute.
It's super cool. I hope everybody checks it out because there are some already amazing practitioners on there. And I'll have you put in the chat the link to our retreats, the new Kartra page. It's a work in process, but I'd love you all to check it out. And if anybody who's on the call wants to give us feedback, because we're in the editing stage, and it is so great too. Another thing I absolutely love about your story, how you went from having this physical business and then turning that business into an online business, and now you're back to where you have a hybrid, so you're seeing clients physically now and you also have a thriving practice online. And not only that, you're helping those 30 other practitioners, soon to be 31, to go and do their the hybrid works, right?
And I want people to know as well, you can go into the search bar on the website page. It says practitioners or keywords. We're just going to have that keywords changed to symptoms. So if you have anxiety, if you have a sleep issue, if you are under stress, anything, you can put those words into the search bar and the practitioners that deal with that will pop up.
It's so great.
It's a great way for, you know, because just going to the site, there is lists of, I've put 5 different categories, and there is lists in each one of the categories of the modalities. And if you click on those, that'll take you to the practitioner. But we wanted also for it to be easier for clients, because that's what we want. We want the clients coming to, and the patients, however you see yourself, coming to the website so that you can utilize these amazing holistic practitioners and the work that they do. I have a woman out of, I think she's out of Utah, and she's an autoimmune disease specialist. So we know from the medical point of view, doctors lump a lot of things into autoimmune disease, but they really don't know what it is and what it does. And the other thing that I just want to mention too is all of the practitioners that are on the hub, on the Healing Institute platform, they're all heart-centered. Every single solitary one of them really wants to do what is best for the client. And so everybody also has a complimentary session of some kind. So you don't need to just pay right away. You can have a complimentary session, information session with the practitioner and find out whether that's a good fit for you or not. So
that's really, really, really great. I love how you're being very selective, picking your practitioners. And like I always say, since the Ice Age, it's business that's changed the world faster than anything. And it's ethical businesses and business leaders with the moral courage that have the ability and the responsibility to change things the fastest. And what you do, Permelia, is so incredible because you vet all these people who are courageous, who are doing more. It's not just about their practice. It's about how to make the world a better place. And I know that's what you do with your work too. And that's why I'm so honored to have you on the show. And we have very limited time left. And before I ask you to say some closing words, because this has just been a terrific time with you. You are someone who is not retired and inspiring me and so many people. And I am so grateful. And I also wanted to put another special link in the chat here for everybody, and a woman who you will love to meet, and she might be someone wonderful I want to introduce you to be one of those practitioners. Her name is Alvita Soleil, and we'll put her link to her uh, interview in here. She created a method called Beam, which is all about energy, all about
Beautiful.
manifesting. She has been studying with many of the same people as you. She's in her 70s. She's a Chinese, certified Chinese medicine practitioner, amazing, heart-centered older woman who is just, it's keeping her young. She can outrun, not running, but run circles around those people. And,
it's never, that happens when you love what you do. So, right. People will ask me when I'm going to retire. I'm like, I have no idea what that word means. I love what I do. So it's not work. I really feel blessed that I was given the gifts that I was given. And I want to share those with as many people as I can.
Mm-hmm. Well, that is so beautiful. And also, next week, this incredible woman's coming on, and me, everybody who's listening on here now knows me. I'm a little dyslexic. I forget things. Bex, we had this one woman who was supposed to come on and she was unable, and Bex from Australia is coming on, and you are going to love her. She's a super powerful healer. She does incredible things with her clients and her people, and she's really into symmetrical like geometry and building labyrinths with collective people, building labyrinths, building community. And she does things online, and she does things actually in Brisbane. I think that's where she's at, in Australia, where she actually gathers people with energy healing to build these labyrinths to help rise their communities up. And she is a love, and for her accent alone, it's worth coming to the call. And I really want to honor Erin Smith, who's on here. She's an incredible yogi expert, and she's a healer. And Allison, I'm not sure who you are, but I'm just so grateful you guys are both. I'm sure I do know who you are.
Thank you.
Are here. And for everybody who's listening in the live chat and on the live, we're streaming this in 3 different channels. I just want to thank everybody so much for joining us for this dose of positivity. And also to remind you, if you have a friend who's having a birthday, or you are interested in gifting yourself something amazing, we'll put it in the chat as well. Please check out Eco-Spired by Nature. It's our shop. It's what keeps my philanthropic work going. All profits go to social and environmental justice causes, and we really appreciate it. And you can get any of my ebooks downloaded for free right away, and anything shipped anywhere in the continental US for only $10, no matter how big, how much. So just saying, just putting it out there, putting the energy out there, because you got to be careful, because what you ask for, just might happen. And I asked for you to come on the show, and it happened. And I am so grateful to you for all your interconnection and what you're doing in the world, and being this totally wisdom warrior woman out there with so much love and compassion, and showing us all how to do it so gracefully as you continue to age into this beautiful new incarnation of yourself. And I just love for you to leave us all with some closing words on what people can do right now for themselves, in lieu of maybe working with you, besides going to your website and making an appointment with you. What are some grounding things, and what are some beautiful energy things that each of us can do each day for ourselves to help our days be more beautiful and meaningful?
Well, I just want to recognize that Allison was putting in the chat that she has danced with you, yoga danced with you at the resort. So that's how she knows you.
That is so great. Yay. Hi, Allison. We were totally mega healing there. That's some energy. Thank
Well,
you.
I'm not quite sure what to say as closing remarks. I just want to thank you so much, Donna, for this interview and for your kindness, for the work that you're doing in the world, which is just absolutely amazing. I always say to people, always be curious, always ask questions. It's just so amazing at you may not know what the answer is, which is fine. You don't need to know what the answer is, but ask, be curious. I would also recommend that you do some kind of morning meditation or morning practice of some kind. Start your day really in a calm, whether you have 5 minutes or an hour, it doesn't matter, but start your day. Put that into practice. It's really very, very important not to just jump out of bed and start to be on your computer or look at your phone or be doing your emails. It's really something that you can give yourself as a gift, that you just do that. Give yourself that time in the morning, the first thing, and just feel the day, to ease into the day. So you're not, because the rest of the day, who knows what might happen. So if you've got control about the beginning of the day, I would take it for sure.
Oh, that is some of the most beautiful advice anybody could give right now. It's that connecting with the subconscious before you let the conscious take over, and then you have a fleeting chance for the rest of the day to go deep into that intuitive space of which we all really desire and miss so much. So I want to thank you again and again. And after we go off the live stream, or actually I just want to kind of bring you guys all outside for a minute for a little bit of nature therapy. So if you'll all join me, I'm going to take you outside. We're having kind of a gray, gloomy equinox day. And then the other thing I would love to say, and I want to thank you so much for that morning ritual, is to take the time to breathe every day and absorb the words that this wise woman has shared with us. Tap into that birthright that we were all given. Tap into that place inside ourselves, that intuition that allows us to be who we are authentically and how we walk in the world. And our animals kind of do it, right? There's Chester, and there's Buddha, and Shady. I'm not sure where Lucky is. But yeah, who told us that we couldn't be a little woo and who told us that we couldn't pick up go onto our computer right now, make an appointment with someone like Permelia, check out her site, and start a new career wherever you're at, to open our hearts to the afterlife and how beautiful it is that we can call the great spirits who we love and admire in, so that they're never gone, so that the grief is more of glory, that we have the acceptance and the ability to do something like that.
And have joy, have the joy in our life, because that's what we're here for. We've been sent here to be joyful.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. We have been sent here to be joyful. Gosh, could you imagine if that was the case?
Ooh,
I don't know.
Is that your property? That's beautiful. I think that's your
Donna,
property.
Erin is showing your one of your painting. I mean your prints.
Who Erin is?
Yes.
Let me see.
It's gorgeous.
You guys, I have a new computer, so I'm gonna have to. Don't go away, Erin. I want to see that. How come I can't show? I can't see everybody. Well, you know what? Which one is it, Erin? Oh shoot! I can't figure out how to show everybody on the screen.
No, she's got it on the screen. So she's showing she's showing it, and it looks like what's right behind you.
It's your front yard with a rainbow.
Oh,
Beautiful.
Erin, I love you. I love you. I love you more. Yeah, that is so cool. Yeah, really, really appreciate that a lot. And yeah, so I'm gonna just take you through here for a second, and then I get every other Thursday I go get a massage from this incredible woman. Oh, there you are. Hi, Erin. Show me that. I just saw you, Erin. Come back again. Come back.
I don't know what my computer just did. I hit something.
Yeah, you just have to talk. Hi, gorgeous. Hi. Which one do you have?
I can't see anything now, but I don't know.
Oh my gosh.
I have no idea what you
Did
can
you
see.
Just
did
hold it
you
up a bit
order it on-
more. Hold
did
it
you
up just
order
a bit
that
more.
online?
There, that's it.
Yeah, I
You
did order it.
Oh, so awesome, honey. Hopefully, I don't even remember you ordering that. So I remember that was a while ago. Oh, that is exactly where it is. And you guys, these are some of my other ones. I'm getting ready. We're doing a new room, but and there's Chester's. Chester's right in front of them. I'm going to take you outside for a minute and tell you, maybe we could say goodbye to everybody. They might get dizzy. We can go off the live stream, but yeah, we're just doing the gangbuster. But everything is spring. It's the equinox, right? So, and I know some places are covered with snow, and some places are covered with snow and all of that, but we've got roses blooming and our herbs are springing up. And one of my rituals that I do every day that helps me get in touch with myself is I pick a sprig of parsley and I eat that chlorophyll.
Beautiful.
So good, guys. So good.
Well, your property is just absolutely amazing.
I know, and you're gonna come see me, and I can't
I
wait.
am.
We're gonna have a great
Well,
time.
we have to invite Allison and Erin as well to come and dance on the property.
Oh yeah, we got to dance. Allison, come up and say hi. Are you still with us?
Yeah, she's still with us. She's just on
Erin,
mute.
Erin, it was so great to see you. Oh my God, I love you. Thank you so much for being you, being here, being awesome. I'm chewing my parsley. So, Allison, we see you're off mute. You got to talk to us. Hi, aloha. Hi, honey.
Aloha.
Aloha.
Yeah, I met you through David Shaw and Clay Eyed, and I had the pleasure of staying at your gorgeous place. What a view, and very inspiring and super powerful, cool energy from the ground up. And we did the yoga dance on the lawn. We were singing together. We are healing. We are healing.
Oh
This
my
beautiful
God, Allison.
song from Mother Earth.
You know what? And you're going to be a guest on the show, and I am so glad you came off and I got to see you. This is where Allison stayed when she was here.
Oh, lovely.
This is your home away from home, honey.
It was really beautiful.
The room isn't.
And where are you in the world, Allison? Are you in Hawaii?
I am in Connecticut.
Connecticut.
United States.
Yes.
It's cold and dreary and gray, but that's part of the beauty of Connecticut. There's a coziness when it's winter, it makes you introspect. So that's okay too. You just have to get used to it.
Well, I lived on the prairies of Canada for many years, so I know exactly what it's like when it's cold, snow.
Yeah.
Now I live on Vancouver Island, where we did get snow this winter, but it wasn't as bad. It's not 40 below.
No, I've heard it's beautiful. It's I'd love to go someday. I've so many people say how beautiful it is. So it's neat to know it's an energy vortex.
Yes. Yeah, I know.
I felt that about Hawaii. It definitely.
Oh, I did too. When I love Hawaii.
Yeah. The plant energy was incredible. Yeah.
Yeah. It still is. and it is an energy vortex like Homer, Alaska, or Sedona, Arizona. There is so much truth about that.
Mhm.
And I encourage a lot of my clients and people, that's one of the number one things to consider when they're going through transformation, is to really look at where they're living and find those energy vortex places, because then you're not feeling so alone. And
Yeah, the energy definitely will help you go through that transition.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
no, there's no doubt about it, because Allison, when you were here, I mean, you felt so connected, right? You felt
Right.
really, really part of, like, yeah. And
Because
you
I
are
love plant. Go ahead.
no, you go ahead. I was just going to say, you're such a shining light and bright star. I mean, seriously, amazing human. So I hope you're my neighbor soon.
Well, I'm trying to find my way, like you. So I'm looking for inspiration. And Connecticut, and certainly there was a lot of plant energy, but I feel plant energy anyway. And Connecticut has its own kind of amazing plants and moss and water and rocks. And so, yeah, I'm just trying to figure it out, like all of us, I guess.
Look at that smile, though. Isn't she radiant?
Well,
You are
I'm
so-
gonna hop off. Thank you so
Yeah.
much, Donna. It was lovely to meet you, Allison, Rebecca. She
To meet
popped in
you.
for a minute, and Erin. And yes, we have
Yeah.
more things to do, Donna. You and
Yes,
me.
we do. Oh my gosh, I feel this is the beginning, and we're gonna, like you say, bring Erin and Allison and Rebecca. We would love for you to come off, and thank you again so much for your time, Permelia. And I just want to say
thank
how much
you.
I love you and appreciated my body code reading so much.
You are
You're
so
amazing.
welcome. All right.
Mm.
All the
Bye,
best.
hon.
Okay.
All the best.
Bye.